Welcome back to my channel. Most of us know that we can plant dried onions in the ground and get fresh onions. Dried onions that are wasted turn into fresh onions. However, you can use this huge dried onion both in cooking and put it in a situation where it can produce fresh onions. How do we do that? Cut our dried onions in this way. We cut it like this and use it in our meals. This is the part of the dried onion that we throw away that we won't use in cooking. Did you know that we can get spring onions? Let's watch it together. We are not cutting this part of the onion, we will be using this part of the onion. We will evaluate these parts that are normally thrown in the trash and get spring onions. Place the tufted parts of these pieces that we have cut into 2 containers filled with water and leave them in this water for a day. In a moment you will see how we turn dozens of them into spring onions in a plastic bottle. By the way, in order for the onions whose ends are cut off not to be wasted, you can cut them and place them in the freezer bag and store them in the freezer. Let's leave the tufted parts of the onion we cut from in water. Let's do a simple spring onion growing experience that you can do with your children. In the same way, separate the tufted part. We will place it in a small container. Fill 3/4 of the container with soil. Place the piece you cut from the dried onion and fill it with soil. Spray water until you are sure that the soil is completely wet. Place it in front of the window and wait for the green onion to develop. Your green onion, which will grow even bigger over time, has already begun to form. Now let's grow dozens of spring onions in a plastic bottle in a small area. We will use a 5-liter plastic bottle for this job. Cut off the top of the PET bottle. This part will be our flower pot where we will grow spring onions. Draw circles the size of soda cap on the sides of the PET bottle with the help of a pencil. Drill holes into places you have scratched with the help of a soldering iron or a heated screwdriver. Do not forget to make holes under the PET bottle, which has holes on all sides. As with every flower pot, there should be a drainage hose under this bottle, so that the water does not stay in the flower pot and rot the roots. We will add turmeric, which is a miracle natural fertilizer that works in every plant cultivation and accelerates rooting, to the peat soil that we will fill into our flower pot. I have shared with you how much turmeric benefits plant development with many videos on my channel. Do not neglect turmeric from your life, but remember that using too much anything is harm. 1 tablespoon is enough for 5 liters of soil. Fill in the soil so that it does not spill out of the holes at the very bottom of your flower pot. The onion, which was waiting in the water 1 day, has already started to form roots in the tufted parts of its roots. Even the places where the spring onions will come out have started to become obvious. There will be only 1 spring onion on this piece. But with this one there are 2 rings in the center, so 2 spring onions will develop. We filled our soil up to the hole. Now we place it facing out through the round hole in the center of the onion litter. And let's put the onion root in the other hole in the same way. There are 2 rings from some onion root, so 2 spring onions will come out of the single root. That's why the hole should be wide. Continue the first row in this way. After lining up the first row, fill in the soil until the second row. In the meantime, pinch the soil that comes behind the onion decoctions a little. After filling the soil until the second row, continue to arrange the onion root as in the first row. In particular, do not forget to compress the onion root into the holes with the right soil. Continue like this until the top of the plastic bottle. The last image will be like this. Also, evaluate the upper floor and index with the remaining onion roots. Then cover them with the soil. Put a potting dish under the plastic bottle. Give it a plenty of water over it. Make sure when all the soil is wet. Put the flower pot you have prepared in a shadowy place and moisten the soils decently from time to time until germination occurs, not too much. Do this as the soil dries out. Excess water will go down into the potting dish. Place the top part of the PET bottle that we cut earlier here. You will see the start of germination within a week. The spring onions gradually began to come out in turn. Although we planted the onion root on the sides of the plastic bottle, the spring onions are growing upwards. Within 2 weeks, almost all of them will start coming out. Now you have fresh onions constantly at hand. You can cut them and use them in your meals whenever you want. Of course, when we make comparisons, green onions obtained from the whole onion are thicker. But from the other point of view, instead of wasting the whole onion, obtaining green onions with discarded parts makes more sense to me, both in terms of preventing waste and supporting the kitchen budget. Of course, I'm waiting for your thoughts on this topic in the comments. If you don't have a lot of onion root, cut the bottom of the plastic bottle in the same way. After drilling holes in the bottom, you can fill in the soil, line up the onion root and get spring onions. We have came to the end of another video. If you liked the video, click like. If you have just arrived on my channel, please remember to subscribe and activate the bell to support my channel. See you in my next videos.